Sand, right?
Mineral sand.
Or
yes,
salt, I mean.
Salt. It's all salt, as far as I know.
Mental note, we need to go wash the vehicle.
Yes.
After we're done, too.
Probably wash the vehicle.
Getting undercarriage twice. Alright, how do we get to where we're supposed to go?
Follow those vehicles, I guess. This little road.
Okay.
Jacks. Here. This one's not running right now. That one is.
Go, Jack. Alright, Salt Plains National Wildlife Refuge.
Got a nice tower there.
Report trespass into the closed areas. Alfalfa County Sheriff. Pets must be on leash.
Dig for crystals only in designated area.
Designated. Alright. Selenite crystal digging regulations.
And permitted only from April 1st to October 15th. Welcome to the Great Salt Plains, where the wind is relentless and the only seasoning you need is your sense of adventure. Prepare yourself for a lot of salt puns. I have come well armed. Picture this. You're in Oklahoma, where the land stretches as far as the eye can see, and suddenly you stumble upon a vast expanse of what seems to be snow. Behold your sled, my friend. This is no winter wonderland. It's the Great Salt Plains. Now, you might be scratching your head thinking, salt in Oklahoma? Where did that come from? Well, the story goes, a long time ago, this place was under a lot of salt water. And as time marched on, it dried up, leaving behind this salty surprise for us. This arid region holds one of the world's largest salt flats, proving that Oklahoma is a salty girl, just as her tornadoes and thunderstorm tantrums would have told us. But here's where the fun begins. You can be your very own prospector here. That's right. You get to dig for your own salt crystals. It's a bit like hunting for treasure, but with a lot more seasoning. Hourglass selenite crystals are formed when the gypsum water beneath the sand and the minerals in the sand mix together. They come in all shapes and sizes. It's like Oklahoma tried to open her own cheap crystal shop and everyone loved it, much to her chagrin. People come from far and wide and drive their little minivans down this terrible road to dig in this mess for crystals that don't do anything for your chakra, last I checked. While visiting, we were actually thankful for the wind for once. It provided some natural air conditioning on an otherwise very hot day. If you ever visit, make sure you bring sunscreen. Whitney and Wally were full of spice and ready to dig and play in the sand. Wally was probably the most helpful in finding the little selenite crystals, and he looked like a hot dog pulled straight from the brine by the end of it. We were all sandy and well-seasoned little okie dokie potato chips. If you visit, make sure you bring clothes that can get wet, salty, sandy, and nasty. Also, make sure you bring lots of water because the sun is relentless, the wind is persistent, and the salt dries you out. Also plan on paying for a car wash, too. Overall, this was totally the highlight of our trip to the Great Salt Plains. We would love to go back sometime before the bugs get nasty and swim in the salt lake and go hiking. There's a lot you can do here. It's not every day you stumble upon a snowy landscape that looks like the far side of the moon and is saltier than your favorite potato chips. So, next time you're sipping your coffee and planning your next adventure, remember the Great Salt Plains in Oklahoma, a place that's sure to spice up your travel bucket list. Okay, I'm done with the salt puns now.
Swing, swing, swing with me. Raise your pick and raise your voice. Sing, sing, sing with me. Down and down into the deep. Who knows what we'll find beneath? Diamonds, rubies, gold and more, hidden in the mountain soar. Born underground, molded from a heart of stone, raised in the dark, the safety of our mountain home. Skin made of iron, steel in our bones. Dig and dig makes us free. Come on, brother, sing with me. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole.
Sunlight will not reach this low.
Deep, deep in the mine.
Never seen the blue moon glow.
Dwarfs don't fly so high.
Fill a glass and down some mead. Brotherhood and song and feast.
Work is done, now fall asleep. Dreaming in our mountain keep. Forged underground, hammer in the iron room. The earth is our home. The mountain shall become our tomb. Face us on the battlefield. You will meet your doom. We do not fear what lies beneath. We can never dig too deep. But I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole.
Alright, say cheese.
Cheese.
Good job. Yay.
Okay, how much of an update do you want to give?
Alright, well, okay, so first of all, yes, we are packing up. We're going home.
We're defeated.
We are defeated. We were going to stay 2 nights into Sunday, but we are going home today on Saturday. Last night, the bugs were just
Off the charts.
Insane.
Forming and breathing them and...
Oh my gosh, I'm still like this afternoon blowing bugs out of my nose.
Yeah.
It was awful.
I had the bug lung.
Yeah, and they're not like mosquitoes. They're some sort of little
Well,
gnat.
there were mosquitoes.
There were mosquitoes, but they weren't the ones we were inhaling easily.
No.
Stephen and Whitney both are covered in bites that I'm trying to doctor. So I...
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but recommend Burt's Bees Miracle Salve. It helps a lot. But still, I'd like to get them home and doctor those a little bit better because they are very allergic to their bug bites. I am not. On top of the bugs, like, we probably could have pushed through the bugs, but the breaker burnt out in the camper, and so we're running only on battery power, and there's no air conditioner. It's like end of September. This is September 30th.
Yep.
And it is 92 degrees today.
Correction, 97.
97
According to the
degrees.
Toyota.
97 degrees. So we have a puppy, we have a small child. They could live through it, but it's miserable. And especially when you're itching, covered in bug bites, and then if you start sweating on top of those, you know what?
It's just time to go.
We're modern people. Let's just go home. So we had a lot of fun at the dig site, digging up selenite. A tip, especially if you're coming to at the end of the season, definitely go as far to the back of the digging field as you possibly can, because up front it's been picked clean. There are no crystals left.
Yeah, we dug for like an hour up front and found
Nothing.
Big giant goose egg.
Yeah. So, but then soon as we moved to the very back of the field, almost to the very back fence, we were only digging maybe an inch down and finding dozens of little crystals and stuff.
Not the mother lode big crystals, but
Yeah, not the big giant ones, but you know, fun ones for like making jewelry and stuff out of. So anyway, and then definitely wear clothes and shoes that you are absolutely okay with getting filthy, dirty.
not your okie dokie merch.
Speaking of which, be sure to go check out our merch store. It will be in the description below. Go early in the morning, because otherwise, if there's no wind, it is sweltering hot. There's no shade. Zero shade.
And useful tools would include like a little hand tiller,
Yeah.
shovel, probably a sharpshooter,
Yeah.
and we had a rake too, but that didn't seem to be as near as effective as just sifting through it with your fingers.
Yeah. Hats, sunscreen, water.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. There's nothing. They have potties toward the entrance, and if you like getting a urinary tract infection, that might be the place to go. But, you know, and then definitely plan on giving your car a car wash and like an underbody wash. You know, stop in at Cherokee and do that. Give them a little support there. So, anyway, anything else?
No, I can't think of anything other than we're just whooped.
Yep. The campground was very nice. It looked like there would be some great swimming area over there. We stayed at the Sandy Beach camp area. The trees were beautiful. It was very nice when there weren't bugs. There were a lot of stickers, but if you were underneath the trees, there wasn't anything growing underneath the trees, so no stickers. And that's where I would take Wally to go potty and stuff. And it was a very nice camp area. They had good showers, good potties and
Nice
stuff.
facilities, yeah.
Nice facilities. And then the selenite dig area was awesome. So that was a lot of fun. So anyway, that is our update on that, I think. Anything you want to add?
Yeah.
See, I'm tired. Cheese.
Alright, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for following our adventures. Make sure you click the subscribe button and like this episode, and make sure you check out our merch, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Alright, so here are our crystals, and I am going to rinse them off just with a colander. And let's take a look and see what they look like. So they're still pretty muddy and everything. There's a lot of sand in there. Look at all that sand. Some of these are so cool. Oh, check this one out. Oh, this one is not a crystal. It's just a cool looking rock. The water is running pretty clear now, so I can take these inside and clean them a little bit more in the kitchen sink. Yeah. Here is a pretty typical selenite crystal. Kind of got an hourglass figure to it. How cool is that one? Look at that. Very, very cool. Definitely go do this if you can. If you get an opportunity, go do it.